We're in the final stretch, folks. Final stretch of leaving our mark on perhaps one of the most consequential bills of our careers. This bill is a huge deal. But it's not sexy. It's not going to be in the headlines for days. But it's going to affect the lives of 3.2 million Iowans for generations. 1,569 pages were sent to our House chamber. And as Representative Mattson pointed out, the many hours we spent in subcommittee still lent it only 14 seconds per page for us to proofread this bill. Now, typically, other states, when they reorganize their entire state government, do it in pieces over a series of years, not weeks. The bill that will dictate how 3.2 million Iowans are governed for the next decades was written at the behest of one person, and coincidentally creates more political power for that one person. And I've heard from a lot of constituents, by the way. I think hundreds, maybe thousands. I have not gone through all of the modes of communication. And all of them have been against this bill. I can think of only one constituent that's for it, and it happens to, I think, be the governor who resides in my district, but all the rest are against it. Who did the governor consult to write this very, very complex bill? But a few folks out of Virginia at the cost of $1 million. Who should have the governor consulted writing this bill? 3.2 million Iowans whose lives will be affected for generations. It's clear that didn't happen. We know that because I know all of you have received communications from folks who are going to be really affected. Their very real lives will be affected by what we do in just a few minutes. We heard from blind Iowans. We heard from deaf Iowans. We heard from advocates for children. We've heard from state employees. We've heard from local historians, county attorneys, fire chiefs, everyday Iowans who want to ensure that their government serves them, not the governor. I wonder how many of the folks in this chamber have read this 1,600-page bill. I know some of us have. And I know that many, many Iowans have because they're reaching out to us. I would just ask that if you have not read the entirety of this bill and are not familiar with the details of it, that you please trust those Iowans because they really, really need you to listen to them. This affects them. It's widely understood that the governor's office asked that this bill be passed through the legislature without substantive amendment. And folks, we supposedly belong to one of three co-equal branches of government, and we should not merely serve as a well-worn rubber stamp for this governor-sponsored bill, especially when it gives the governor's office more power. The Senate has sent us its version, and what did they do with the bill but made a few technical changes and clawed back a little bit of its confirmational power, but otherwise sent it to us largely unchanged. What have we done here in the House? The largest body of elected officials in the state, the People's House. What have we done to leave our mark on this transformational government bill? We just copied the Senate. We have done nothing. 0. Heck, after I write a one-page newsletter, I send it to my trusty clerk, Laura, who provides me with several edits that make it better. This is a 1,600-page bill that was sent to us 100 editors that have approved 0 edits. We have deserted our duty to Iowans. Our duty to Iowans that they have a say in how their government is run for them. I ask that you vote no and that we start over.